row 1 will be magic ring and 6 single crochet inside the magic ring. Okay, this is row 1. Row 2 will be increase in all the stitches, so this will bring us to 12 single crochets. Okay, row 3 will be single crochet and increase, single crochet increase, single crochet increase. We will do this for the entire 12 stitches of the previous row. We will do this, and this will make 18 single crochets. In the end we will have 18 single crochets. Row 4 will be 2 single crochets and then an increase. This we will continue the pattern, 2 single crochet increase, 2 single crochet increase. Will continue till the end, and this will give us 24 single crochets. Okay, row 5 will be 3 single crochets and increase. We will continue the pattern till we have 30 single crochets. Okay, so let's begin this. Okay, so I'm hoping you are able to see all of that, and we'll start now. So we're going to start with row 1. We are going to start with a magic ring. We will hold the yarn with the thumb and the middle finger, go around the pointer finger, make an X like this, then go at the back and hold it with the little finger. Then with the hook facing down, we will go under the first yarn, first loop, grab the second one, then do a chain. That's your magic ring. This circle is your magic ring. Put your little finger in it with the middle. First hold the yarn properly, then put your middle ring finger inside the circle. With your middle finger and the thumb, hold these two yarns, the tail and the yarn, the magic ring. Okay, now do 6 single crochets in this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So when you're counting, what's on the loop we will not count. So below the loop, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Okay, so we will put the stitch marker on the 6th one. Okay, now we've put the stitch marker. Now what we will do is, okay, now hold the tail and hold this chain, the 6 single crochets that you have done, hold it and pull this tail to close the loop. Just pull it as much as you can. Okay, now the second row is an increase row. That means increase in every stitch we will have 2 single crochets. So I'm just going to take out the stitch marker and I'm going to do the first increase inside the same place where the stitch marker was. So this is where the stitch marker was, so I'll go here. You have to remember to keep the stitches tight, okay, because it's a plushie, so whatever you stuff will be seen if you are not keeping the stitches tight. 1 and 2. This is an increase. Okay, so in the first stitch I will put a stitch marker in the first stitch. Okay, now we will do increase in all the stitches. this is 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. Then the last stitch we will do the last increase, 11 and 12. Okay, now you see there is a big hole here. If what we are right now doing is this part we are starting here, this is what we are starting. If there is a hole as big as this, then all the stuffing that is inside it will come out and it can be seen. So to avoid that, what we need to do is we need to pull this tail what we have, just hold this with your thumb and index finger like this, so the shape does not get distorted, and pull this thread tight. See, now it's closed, there is no more hole. Okay, now we finished row 2. Now row 3 is what? One single crochet and then an increase. So in the stitch where we had the stitch marker, we had the stitch marker here. Okay, so I'm just going to tighten it. Okay, we will do a single crochet and then an increase. So where we have done the first single crochet, that's where we will have to put the stitch marker. Okay, now we will do single crochet and an increase. Okay, and I will continue and I will meet you at the end of the row. I'm at the last 2 stitches, and this is my 15th crochet. This is next one is going to be my 16, and in the last stitch there's an increase. Okay, always the last stitch there will be an increase if the pattern requires you. 17, and this is going to be your 18th stitch. Okay, now we are done with row 3. We are going to start with row 4. Row 4 is single crochet, 2 single crochets and an increase. Okay, so take out the stitch marker. I'm going to have my first single crochet there, 1, 2, and then an increase, 1 and 2, and we'll continue with this pattern, 2 single crochets and then an increase, 2 single crochets and then an increase. So we will continue till the end of the row, and I'll meet you at the end of the row. I'm at the last stitch where I have to do an increase. This is 23 and 24. Now it's the row 5, it's the last row of increase. So here we are going to do 3 single crochets and then an increase. First single crochet, second, third single crochet, and then an increase. Increases 2 single crochet in the same stitch, 1 and 2. Okay, and we will continue this pattern of 3 single crochet and an increase till the end of the row, and I will meet you at the end of the row. Okay. Okay, now row 6, there will not be any increase, so we will just do 30 single crochets across. There won't be any increase. Okay, from row 7 there is a pattern change. Okay, I will tell you what happens at row 7. If you can look, see, this is how the doll is, right? The duck is right here. It is, this is where we are here. We are at this level. Okay, so we are here now. It is increasing on this side, but whereas not increasing here. These two rows, there's no increase here. Okay, so I will explain how it is. So like I said, we have done the duck like this. Sorry about my drawing, I'm not that great. This is where we started the magic ring. This is our tail, which is on the inside, and this is where we are at row 6. Okay, this is the row 6. And then what happens, this row 7, row 8 and row 9, it remains like this. This side remains same curvature goes up to row 9. There is nothing happening here. But whereas in row 7, 8, 9, the shape takes place. This is how it happens. This side it becomes like a V, it becomes bigger on this side. That's when you will get this shape, this V shape you will get. Okay, so that's what we're going to do now. So row 7 will be an increase in the first stitch. Okay, and then we'll have 28 single crochets, and then an increase in the last stitch. Okay, so what happens, 28 increase, so 29, 30, another increase, 31, 32, so you will have 32 single crochets. Hope you've understood the concept that's going on here. So I'm just going to rub this off my poor drawing and write the pattern, which will make more sense. Okay, row 8 is also going to be an increase, so there will be increase in the first stitch. Okay, and then there will be 30 single crochets, and then again an increase at the last stitch. The first and the last stitch there will be increase, so this will become 34 single crochets. Okay, row 9 is the last row where we have this pattern of increasing on the left hand side, so this will be increase again, first stitch, then we'll have 32 single crochets, and then we'll have the increase in the last stitch. This will give you a total of 36 single crochets. So this pattern of increasing on the left hand side, increasing only on the left hand side and keeping the pattern round here, it ends at row 9. We don't have this anymore. Okay, so let's start with this. So row 5 finished with a increase, which is the 30 single crochets. Now row 6 is nothing but just single crochets on all the stitches, right? So I'm just going to take out the stitch marker and then going to start with single crochets. 1, 2. So on the first stitch I will put the stitch marker again here. Make sure always on the first stitch you're putting the stitch marker. Okay, I know some of you are comfortable putting it on the last stitch. Whatever you are comfortable in you can do, but make sure you're doing the correct thing. Just because I'm saying first stitch increase, last stitch decrease, you should know where you're doing it. That's all. If you don't have stitch markers, you cannot do it. No matter how good you're or what kind of an expert you are in crochet, without stitch marker you'll find this difficult. So please work with the stitch markers. It's given to you in the class. Use them. All the tools are always there to make life easy for us, so we should use them. So make use of the stitch marker. I'll meet you at the end of this row. So I finished the 30 single crochets on row 6. Now it's row 7. So remember always the tail, the small tail, the yarn that is small one, that should be on the inside. That means this one should not turn on the outside, but on the inside it should be like this. Okay, all amigurumi has to be like this. Okay, so now let's row 7 is that increase row, so let's start with that. First stitch increase and single crochet across all the stitches, and the last stitch again an increase. Okay, so this is an increase. First stitch, there's an increase on the first stitch. We will put the stitch marker. Okay, now we need to do 28 single crochet or single crochet on all the stitches till we reach the very end. So let me do that and I'll meet you at the very end. Okay, I'm on the last 2 stitches, the last stitch, which is 28 single crochet, and 30 single crochets done, and the last stitch we'll have an increase 31 and 32, 31 and 32. This is row number 7. Now row number 8, similar to row 7, we will start with a single increase, 1 and 2. Okay, and then we'll do single crochet across all the stitches till the very end. I will meet you at the very end. So I finished 31 single crochets. This is 32, and in the last stitch we are going to do an increase, which is 33 and 34. This is the end of row 8. Now row 9 is similar, so first and the last stitch there will be increase, and all other stitches is just going to be single crochets. So this is my first stitch, so it is going to be an increase, so just 2 single crochet, 1 and 2. So in the first increase is where I will put the stitch marker, and I will do single crochet all around, and I'll meet you at the end. I'm done. I'm at the last stitch where I have to do an increase. The last increase. Okay, so this makes 36 single crochets. Not sure if you're able to see the shape taking place. I'm not sure if the video is clear. If you fold it, you'll be able to see that there is an increase. It's not same, it's rounded here and sharp on the side. Like, I'm sure if you are able to see it on the video, but put it on this, maybe it will show better. See, can you see? This is now what we have done is we have increased. This is row 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 and 9. Till here we have come, till here. So if you see, you have just look at till here, there is no change in the shape till this 9th row, and here the shape increased. Right now from the 9th row it becomes straighter here. It's like forming the chest. It is no more round. Okay, it's forming the chest. So we have to change the pattern here to give it the shape, and how we finish it on the side I will explain it now. Okay, so let's move all of this. So I will try and explain what we have done. So we started with a magic ring, then we kept doing the pattern till we got the small base, and then when we came to 30 stitches, it became this way, and then we increased it here. We did not do anything here, so we were here. Right now what we are going to do is we are going to decrease on this side. On this side we're going to decrease, and this we are not going to do anything else here. We're just going to keep it as single crochet only. So it will remain like this, and this side it will become like this, and we will try and close it here, and the head will form here. The head will come up like this here. Okay, forgive my drawing is not great, but the head will come up like this here. Okay, here at the edge here there's a small slight very small tilt, you know, there is a small curve like this. I will explain how that has to be done. I'll show you on the keyring that I have already done. See, where is this? If you can look at the shape here at the edge, you will see a small turn, like a small curve, a small turn, and the chest is formed here. Okay, so let's see how we are going to do all this. Okay, so we finished till row 9, so we're going to start with row 10. Okay, row 10. What is row 10 going to be? We're going to have 10 single crochets, then we're going to do 1 decrease, then we are going to do 12 single crochets, then another decrease, then again we are going to finish it with 10 single crochets. At the end we should have 34 single crochets, 34 stitches we'll have. Okay, so I'm just going to move the camera so it's easier for you to see. The row 11, we did 3 rows of increase here, right? We did 3 rows here to increase the shape. Here we did 3 rows, so here also we have to do 3, then only then it will all balance out and the shape will look good. Okay, sorry about this. Okay. Okay, sorry. So row 11 is going to be, we'll continue the 10 single crochet throughout. So 10 single crochet, then there will be decrease. Here we will do, instead of 12 we will do 10 single crochet, then again a decrease, then we will do 10 single crochets again. So we did 2 decreases, so then this should become 32 single crochets. Okay, at the end you should have 32. Row 12, we will do same pattern, 10 single crochet, decrease, one decrease only, then again this will become 8 single crochets, then another decrease, 1 decrease, and 10 single crochets, which will leave us with 30 single crochets. Okay, it is going to be 30 single crochets. All of this is single crochets. Okay, so if you remember when we started magic ring and we went making the round base, we came in row 5 to 30 single crochets. We did 30 single crochets, and row 6 we did not do any increase or decrease, we were at 30 single crochets. If you remember, that was row 6. If you look at row 6, it will be 30 single crochets. Same way, when we finish the pattern, we are finishing at the same 30 single crochets. So this is what you have to remember, and if you've understood this, then you'll be able to do this easily. Okay, so now let's start with the making the pattern. For those of you who find it difficult, who can't remember or finding it difficult to count and do, so this stitch marker here is your first single crochet. So on row 10 we have to do 10 single crochet, then the decrease. So count from here. This is your 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. On the 11th stitch put a stitch marker. Okay, so count again, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. On the 11th stitch is when we will do a decrease. Okay, so 11 and 12, these two are a decrease because decrease will go through 2 stitches, so you have to consider 11 and 12 as one decrease. Okay, after that we have to do 12 single crochets. So 11 and 12 is gone as a decrease, then you count again 12. So this is decrease, then count 12. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 and 12. Okay, and on the 13th one put another stitch marker, so you know where you need to do the next decrease. Okay, just so that if your counting is correct, just check the balance. These two are decrease, then you have to count 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 and 10. We have 10 single crochets. This is the 10th one is the stitch here. Okay, that's where it is. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 and 10, and this is the decrease. Decrease will go through 2 stitches, that's why it is like this. And I've used this U pin because you can use anything for stitch marker, you don't have to do exactly stitch markers, and just to explain that to you, that's why I put that. Keep the tail inside. Okay, this is the tail that will stay inside the body of the duck. Okay, so now I think you can do it faster now because you know how, because you everywhere the stitch marker is there, you don't have to remember anything. Okay, so let's do first single crochet. Make sure to put the stitch marker back, so then you know where you started the row. Okay, this way if you're going to be marking like this, so even if you are in middle of something and then you get a phone call or you're doing something else in between and you've forgotten where you were supposed to do, you don't have to sit down and again start counting, because your stitch markers will help you on how to be doing the row. Like you can continue without counting and trying to figure out where you are, right? So just do your single crochets. So this is the last stitch before the stitch marker, so that is a single crochet. Now at the stitch marker is when you have to decrease, so you just take out the stitch marker, and in decrease it will go through the front loop of 2 stitches, first stitch and the second stitch. Yeah, and now yarn over, pull through the first 2 stitches, yarn over and pull through fully, and tighten this. Whenever you do a decrease, tighten it. Okay, so the next 12 stitches is single crochet. You can either count 12 and do your decrease, or you can put the stitch marker and then do. It's not mandatory that you need to put stitch markers, but these are the tools that we have, and to make use of the tools to make life easy is always a good idea. Otherwise there's no point having tools, right? So let's quickly do this. Okay, I have come to the 11th single crochet, and this is my 12th. Even though I put stitch marker, I am counting because I am used to counting, and I always count my work to make so that I don't have to undo and redo and all of that. So if you're like me, best is to count. Okay, now it's a decrease here, so go through the front loop of the first stitch and the second stitch, and then do your decrease. Okay, now 10 single crochets. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 and 9, and the last one is 10. Okay, I'll meet you in the next row now. Now row 11 is, we will start with 10 single crochets, then a decrease, then 10 single crochets again, then a decrease again, and then the final 10 single crochets. So I've marked all the areas so I can start doing it. Okay, so I'm going to start with 10 single crochets. See, I forgot to put the stitch marker. I've done 3, 1 2 3. That's the place. 4 5 10, and I have to do a decrease here, going only through the front loop of 2 stitches. Okay, yarn over, pull through the first 2 stitches, then yarn over and pull through. Then next 10 single crochets, 1 2 3 sorry about this, 6 7 8 9 and 10, then a decrease, and now the last 10 single crochets. Okay, so let me do this and I'll meet you in the next row. So I have finished row 11. Now we are at row 12. In row 12 it is 10 single crochets, decrease, 8 single crochets, then another decrease, then 10 single crochets. At the we're finishing with 30 single crochets in that row. Okay, so this is the last row of the pattern. So we're going to start. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 and 10, and then a decrease the next 2 stitches, going only through the front 2 loops. That's a decrease. Then we have 8 single crochets, seven and 8. This is the 8th one. Then we have the decrease, going only through the front loops. Make sure decrease is done properly and tightly, so otherwise there will be holes in the pattern. Okay, and then all the stuffing that you're putting in will be shown and it will come out and it will look nasty and you'll not be able to use them. So this is the last single crochet. Okay, I'll meet you in the next row. Okay, now I finished row 12 and I hope you can see how the shape has come. See that it is no more curving. If the curve would have gone, it would have come till here, right? Instead it's gone straight here. This is the chest of the duck, same like how it is over here. Yeah, so I don't know if you can see, if it's visible to you. Sorry, if it's visible to you. See how the shape is. This is the chest, this part is round, and here the tail part is here. Okay, now we are going to start how we're going to do the head. I'm going to explain that to you. So let me show that to you in a second. So we finished round 12. Okay, so now what we're going to do, we're not going to do the head separately and then let me explain. So this is the magic ring, and we did this till 30 single crochets, then we increased only here and we kept this going round, then we started decreasing here to make the chest like this, and this part we just kept doing single crochets here, so there was nothing much going on. Now to get this small curve here, we will do a half double crochet. Here the first stitch will be a half double crochet. Then here at this point, here we started with in the magic ring we started with what, 6 single crochets, correct? So same way here we will leave 6 stitches we will leave. Okay, this is for the neck and the head, and the rest of it we will close it, and we will do the stuffing also here. So I will do all of that so you can see how it is and understand this better. Okay, okay, so first stitch here will be a half double crochet. So let me show you the first stitch. I will remove the stitch marker here. The first, only one stitch we are going to be doing, which is going to be a half double crochet. Okay, so for half double crochet, this is the one loop on the hook. We'll yarn over, then go through the stitch like always, yarn over, grab the yarn, then you have 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through all 3 stitches. Now this is your half double crochet. Okay, now once this is done, you will need 2 stitch markers now. Okay, once this is done, hold this like as if this is the edge point. Okay, and hold it like this, pull it into, like, close it properly, try and see if you can match the stitches. Okay, now this part here, it is 1 1 2 3 4 5 6. Okay, so let's put stitch marker here. So this is 1 2 3 4 5 and 6. Okay, just reconfirm, count it again, 1 2 3 4 5 and 6. Okay, now we need to close this rest of this body so we can work on the head. Before we close, we will try and do a little bit of stuffing. Because this is a tutorial video and it's just going to be used for making videos, I'm just going to be using polyfills here, but in the class your teacher will tell you how to do the stuffing. Okay, whatever you use for stuffing, make sure you have enough, you fill enough. Okay, if you don't fill enough, then you will not have this stiffness. It'll go, the shape won't hold, it won't look nicer also, and like after a couple of days you will feel that the whole keyring is losing its shape. So fill quite a bit. Okay, now I have filled enough. So what I'm going to do is, we will still fill this, but we can't close it if I keep filling. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to hold this inside. Okay, like this. I'm going to do slip stitches and close this, close the body. Okay, go through the front loop of the stitch, the first stitch, and here at the back, the last stitch, what you have, the last stitch, go through only the back loop, don't go through the front loop, go through the back loop, the front loop of this side and the back loop of that side, so then it closes properly. Okay, grab the yarn, pull through both the stitches and pull through. There is no yarn over in this. It's a slip stitch, so there is no yarn over. Same thing for the next stitch. Okay, front loop of this side and the back loop of the other side. Grab the yarn, no yarn over, just pull through the stitch nice and tight. It needs to close so that the stuffing does not show. Front side of this and back loop of that one, and yarn over and pull through. Make sure you go through all the stitches and you don't leave anything. If you leave, then there will be gaps. As you're closing, try and push the stuffing on the places where you are finished closing. Okay, so stuffing goes in there and it doesn't disturb you while you are trying to close. While stuffing, you also have to make sure not to overstuff. If you overstuff, also the whole pattern, the stitches will start expanding and it will start showing out. So you should be able to stuff properly and fully, not overfill or not underfill also. Okay, now we still have to close, but what I'm going to do is put more stuffing. If you can see, if I push the stuffing on this side, if I push the stuffing on this side, there's a lot of space, empty space here. Okay, so I'm going to put more stuffing in there. Because the neck space is only 6 stitches, it's very difficult to get stuffing inside 6 stitches. So as much as possible, try and do the stuffing now. If you find this difficult, imagine if it's only 6 stitches left, then how you will do the stuffing. So for all these kind of toys and stuffed animals and key rings, stuffing is very important. Only that is going to hold the space, hold the shape and make it look pretty. So overstuffing or understuffing is not recommended. Make sure you do it the right way. Your teacher in the class will be explaining all this to you and you should just follow what they're saying in the class for you. It already felt like it was full when I started closing it, but you saw how much more it could take, right? It can still take a lot more. If I put more, I won't be able to crochet, I won't be able to work with this. So I'm going to stop now and then we'll see further how we're going to stuff this. Okay, so till you have put the stitch markers, this needs to close. So go on the first stitch, the next stitch here, and the back loop, so you see there is 2 more stitches on that side, and but here I don't have stitches here, so then you have to adjust this, adjust it slightly, like go 1 stitch over that side, bring this 1 stitch forward like this, but make sure it's in the center, it's not, the head has to, the placement of the head should be correct, right? Okay. Count it again, 1 2 3 4 5 6. Okay, now you have 1 more stitch. You can close this properly now. So go to the front loop of the next one. And the back loop of the back stitch, the adjacent stitch, pull it through and close it. Okay, now what we're going to do, now we've closed it, the shape has come, the single crochet is giving you that slight curve here, I mean the half double crochet is giving you the curve here. Now on this thing, now this is the head part. Okay, now we're going to start with the head of the duck. So this is the row 1 for the head. So we will start with row 1 again. Okay, row 1 is nothing but 6 single crochets. Just do 6 single crochets and close the loop, close loop. Okay, actually don't close the loop, let's do 6 single crochets. This will do it in spiral only. R2, this is an increase, which means 2 single crochet in every stitch. So this becomes 12 single crochets in, this is R2. R3 will be single crochet, 1 single crochet, 1 increase. Okay, we'll repeat this pattern and you will have 18 single crochets. R4, 2 single crochets and an increase, which will give you 24 . 2 single crochet and an increase, and you need to repeat this pattern, which will give you 24 single crochets. Okay, R5 will be single crochet with no increase or decrease. So just keep doing single crochets, which will give you again 24 single crochets in that round. In R6 it will be 2 single crochet. Okay, let's do till row 5 and then I'll explain the pattern again at row 6 level. I'll explain the pattern again. Okay, so let's start. To start with the head, so what we're going to do is we're going to take out both the stitch markers now. Okay, just put your finger in there, so if you're finding it difficult to do, and do your single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Okay, I have not put my stitch marker because this is small, just 6 stitches, so I don't want to have stitch markers here now because I can make out where I have to go. So 6 single crochets done. Now here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and this is your 6th one. Here you go in here. Okay, and this is an increase round, next round, so you will have to do 2 single crochets here, 1 and 2. Okay. Maybe put a stitch marker here. If you want to count and do, that's fine, but if you want to have a stitch marker, then that's also okay. I'm just doing it for the video sake. It's easier to count than to keep fiddling with the stitch markers, but yeah, whatever. So we're going to do increase in every stitch, so that's going to be 1, 2 is over, 3, 4, 5 and 6, 7 and 8, 9 and 10, and then 10th one in the same stitch. Now you have the last stitch, 11, and the last one is going to be 12, and now next row is going to be single stitch and an increase. So this, if you're not sure and you feel like you've missed it, just count it. Okay, so here 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 and 12. So the 12th one you will do a single crochet. It's the stitch here, so it's a little, yeah, okay, single crochet. This is one. In the next one there is an increase, next stitch there is an increase, two, and in the same stitch it is 3, 4, next stitch is an increase, 5 and 6, 7, next is an increase, 8 and 9, 10, 11 and 12, 13, 14 and 15, 16, the last stitch is an increase, which is 17 and 18. Okay, now it is 2 single crochet and an increase in the row 4 will be 2 single crochet and increase. So this is the first single crochet, and I'm going to put a stitch marker here. Second single crochet and an increase, then 2 single crochet and an increase. You have to continue this around, and I will meet you at the end of the row. Okay, so I finished row 4 with 24 single crochets. Row 5 is just single crochet around with no increase or anything, so it's just going to be 24 single crochets. So first one, I'm going to put a stitch marker on the first one, and then we do the single crochet around. There is no increase or any pattern in this round, so let me do this and I will come and meet you at the end of the row. So I finished row 4, and row 5 it's just single crochet. So I started, this is my 4th single crochet. So just going to be doing single crochet in this row. There is no increase or any pattern to discuss, so just do the single crochets and I'll meet you at the end of this row. So we're going to, row 5 is over. Now row 6. Row 6 will be 2 single crochets and a decrease. This will be the pattern. We'll continue till we get 18 single crochets, and row 5 is going to be single crochet and decrease. Continue the pattern till you get 12 single crochets. Then sorry, this will be not row 5, this is row 6 and this is 7, right? Row 8 is going to be decrease in every stitch, and this will bring us to 6 single crochets. And here last we will weave, okay, and leave a long tail. Okay, why we need to leave a long tail, I'll explain. Okay, let's do this. So we're going to start with row 6, which is going to be 2 single crochet and a decrease. It's a decrease rows. So this is where the shape of the head is going to come. It's going to start closing now. So first single crochet, second single crochet. In the first single crochet you will put the stitch marker, that is 2 single crochets, and then there's a decrease now. Then 2 single crochets, decrease only with the front loop. Okay, you get an idea of what we are doing now. So I'll meet you at the end of this row. I'm at the last decrease of row 6. In row 7 we will do one single crochet and decrease. I just did it inside the stitch marker. So row 7 is single crochet and decrease. So the first single crochet, and the decrease going only through the front loop, and keeping everything tight. Okay, single crochet and decrease, single crochet and decrease, single crochet. You get the idea. So I will meet you at the end of the row. I'm at the last decrease now. Before you go through the next row, make sure you do the stuffing. So keep all the stitch marker, the yarn, everything out of. It's very difficult to put it through the small holes, especially polyfill. I mean, like, the yarn you use will not be this difficult. You have to give it a proper nice round shape like the duck's head here. So make sure the filling is proper. Without the filling it will not have that shape that you want it to have. Now if you remember, when we were closing the body, at the neck spot we were not able to fill much, remember? So what you will do is, when you fill halfway through, okay, when you are at the spot, what I do is I use a scissor, and I use the scissor to push it through that whole neck, you know, to have some stuffing go through that neck area. can use chopsticks, you can use sticks, you can do anything you can use. But so even, I mean, crochet hook also some people use, but I find it difficult. I find something more sharper like this easier for the stuffing to go through. And we all have scissors in the toolbox, so easy than to go look for something else. Easy to use what is there at hand, right? So I'm actually, the scissor is right up to here. See, the scissor is still here now. So I'm pushing it right inside that neck area. Don't overdo it, okay? If you overdo it, then the stuffing will start piecing outside also. The polyfill what I'm using has got this bounce back effect, so even though I'm pushing it inside, it will keep coming back out, whereas you are using yarn, you should not have that problem. I'm just going to cut this polyfill because it's not helping me. This is giving me that feel of it's full, but I know there is space in here. I can't fill more, I can't fill any further because then I can't do the crochets. So I'm going to fill only till here now. For now this is enough. Okay, so in the row 7, so we are 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 and 12 stitches. We are at row 7 is done. Now row 8 is decrease on all stitches. Okay, so I'm not going to do 6 stitch marker anymore because now it's just going to be just finishing it off, right? So first stitch and second stitch and first stitch, close this, the next one, and further one more single crochet, decrease, decrease, this is the 5th decrease, and this is the last decrease in this row. Okay, now we're going to have a long tail, so what we will do is we'll just pull a long tail. I think I've got enough now. Okay, now I will take a plastic needle because we're just going to weave off now. So what we will do is we will go through the next stitch from the outside, just move all of this so it's not creating any confusion. Then we have got we're on the inside now. Then we come out, go through this outside, from outside, then from inside, just going in and out. So, and I'm going only through the outer loops. Okay, now I've gone through all the loops, and I'm just going to through the first loop, where we cut the yarn, that loop as well we will go through. Now very carefully, don't pull too much, very carefully, gently, slowly, just close it. It should not look ugly, just gently close it. See, this is enough. Don't pull too tight, you lose the shape of the head otherwise. Okay, now you can take out the needle, and what we will do is, where this is where the yarn is coming out, we will go into the previous stitch here, use this yarn and make 2 chains, come out of this by me. I'm going in the previous stitch, I'll show you again. Okay, that's your chain. Okay, that's your chain, first chain, and do another chain, second chain. Okay, now on the other side of the stitch, any stitch you can just grab, it just need to be the center on the top of the head. We did 2 chains. Okay, now just go on the top and do a slip stitch. I will just do the slip stitch here. Okay, and then pull this outside. Why we did this is so that we can have the chain space where we can put the keyring. Okay, so if you see here the chain space, I can't show you on the video, but I have it here. See, there's enough space here, this space, there's enough space here after I put even the slip stitch, there's enough space. Okay, in this space is where the keyring will go. Now once this is done, you will thread the needle again, okay, go through the next stitch here below, okay, and just come out. If you see any stitch that is loose or anything that needs to be fixed, just go under, and without spoiling the shape or the stitch pattern or anything, if you can do it nice and neat, try and finish it. Okay, but try to avoid all this because the shape will get affected if we do it too much. Just 1 or 2 is fine. Okay, and now I will go into the head and come out of the body here. When I'm pulling the yarn, you have to be careful not to pull too tight because the head shape will get changed. Okay, then in the next stitch I will go and pull out from here. Okay, I've come exactly here, which is 1 2 3 4. You can see the holes here, not the first row, the below holes, 1 2 3 4. Okay, so now what we will do, go through this hole and come out here and just cut this yarn. Okay, this is done. Now we need to do the wings, like how this duck has the wings, we need to do that. So what we will do is, from here, not on this row, the second row, we need to do it just where the head is finishing. See that the curve of the head is finishing, that's where your last stitch should be. Here 1, here 2 3 4, so on the 5th one here. Okay, so there I'll put the stitch marker so I can explain properly. here is where you will attach the yarn and to make a wing. We crochet from left to right, yeah, sorry, from right to left. We crochet from right to left. So your first stitch marker is here and we'll crochet this way. Same way, if you go on the other side, adjacent side, it should finish here. So, and we are going it 1 2 3 4 and 5. Here is where we are going to start, because it's going to go from right to left, so it should be here. Okay, so mark this. Now let's attach the yarn. So I'm going to attach the yarn now. You see, take the yarn like this, 6-inch loop, just a small loop like this. This is enough. Okay, hold it like this. I'm not put any slip knot, nothing. Okay, just hold it like this. Take out your slip stitch from here, and in that you can put the hook, grab and pull this. You've got a loop on your hook now. Hold the tail with your thumb. Now make a chain, 1. Okay, now in the next stitch here, you can see the next stitch here, go inside this, okay, and make a single crochet. First single crochet, second single crochet, the next one, third single crochet in the next one, and final 4th single crochet in the final one. Okay, once done, you will do a chain 1 and you will turn. Okay, now in the previous stitch we're going to do a double crochet. So yarn over, go through the stitch, yarn over, pull through, pull out, and then yarn over, pull through the first 2 stitches and pull through the final 2 stitches. First say double crochet, next stitch also a double crochet, third stitch is also going to be a double crochet. Okay, after double crochets, then you will do 1 chain, just do 1 chain, and you know the chain space where you started, where you attached and did a chain, go inside that and make a slip knot. Okay, once you do, once this is done, just cut it. That's your wing. Okay, you need to do the same thing on the other side. Okay, and in the next video I'll show you how to weave the ends for the wings. I've done both the wings now, so just like how we did with the head one, same thing. Just go through and come out somewhere. Don't pull for the shape to remain. Okay, careful about the shape. If the yarn is too short and you're not able to thread the needle, then you can just go stick the needle like this, then thread it. Okay, now for the beak we will have a different color yarn, usually an orange color yarn. So we will start with the beak. So this is where your keyring is going to go. This is your mouth. You know the way we did the biggest number, the 24, on that, or just there, here, right? We will do 4 chains, just chain we will do, or single crochets. Let's see what we want. I think chain is fine. let's see, I think single crochet, I'm not sure. Let me see how it comes. We will start the beak here in the, we will start the beak at the biggest circumference of the duck here. So we will go not in the middle, just one stitch next to the middle stitch, attach the beak yarn, the beak color yarn, once you've attached, to chain one, in the next stitch do a single crochet, do second single crochet, and in the last stitch just do a slip knot, go to the stitch and bring out the loop and just do a slip knot. Okay, sorry, I didn't pull through properly. So in the last stitch we will do a slip knot. Okay, and then I will show you how I will bind off. I've done the beak, so chain 2 single crochets and a slip knot. Now here I'm going to tie a knot, 2 single crochet, chain 2 single crochets and a slip knot. Now I'm going to tie a knot here. Just to secure it, nothing will happen, but still just to see, because it's a small different yarn, right? So we'll just secure it tightly, put another stitch, another knot here, just so we are sure that it will not come out. And then we have to just weave the yarn. You can put both the yarns together, put it from the same side. Okay, if you put on the other side, then it will create a knot and it will not go through. See, I pulled it too hard, so that's the shape problem. Okay, now if a little bit of yarn is sticking out, just push it with your needle, push it inside with your needle. It's a different color yarn, so it should not show. Okay, now that's done. Now we're going to do the eyes. For eyes we will do it in brown color embroidery floss. Just take a small length, we don't need too much, this is enough for and then we will thread the needle. Okay, let me use a threader to thread the needle. My eyes are not great, so let me come back to you. So for those of you who don't know, I'm just showing you how to use a needle threader. So this is a needle threader. There's a metal piece here with the small loop, and this is the handle. Use this metal loop to go inside the eye of the needle. Then inside the metal loop you will thread your thread, okay, like a small piece. Then pull the metal loop outside. Okay, it's easier to thread like this. All these tools you will have, your teacher would have given you all these tools. So if you don't have anything, then just ask them, they will give you. Now creating an eye, what we will do is this is where the beak ends, right? So right one stitch above there, here you will go and just above that stitch, it's a small eye we need, right? So we will just go above here and just pull the yarn, leaving a small thread outside. Okay, now we will come back where you have to do this only with the metal needle, not with plastic needle. If you do it with this plastic needle, we'll go through back and forth here several times, it will start creating holes, so you can't do it in that. Okay, do it only with the metal needle. So come back where we started, we will go back here, and where we came out we will do the same place. Okay, don't pull too hard, don't pull too tight, just nice and straight. Okay, now same thing again, second time. Try not to have the thread over the same yarn, same place where you had the previous stitch. So just with your thumb just guide it to go next to it. Okay, next to it. Do it again. Now this is your third time. Fourth time. See, I'm just using my fingers to make it into that oval shape eye. Okay, and now one more time. This is my sixth time, but every time you have to come through the same place. Just keep your finger on the eye, or your thumb, keep your thumb on the eye and slowly pull it to where you want it to be. Okay, now that's done. What you will do is you will take the small thread that you have left in before and you will put a small knot. Don't worry, nothing will happen, just put a small knot. So then this eye is secured and nothing will, it will not come out. Okay, put another knot, so we are 100% sure nothing is going to come out. Now go inside the eye here and come out at the place where you want the next eye to be. Same place where the beak ends, the next stitch here. Slowly pull it, guide it with your finger, that shape remains. We did 6 times here, so we will do the same number of times here. 1, try and keep the same shape. 2, 3, 4, 5, and the last one. Okay, when you're coming through the last one, when you're coming to the last one, go through the loop to make the knot. So there's a knot on this one also. Okay, now use this needle and come out somewhere else. Come out of the back of the hair. Don't pull too much, and in the same stitch, same place, go and come out of this eye here. See, it's disappeared now. So what we will do is we will use the plastic needle where the smaller yarn is. Okay, okay, small yarn is gone, a bigger yarn I have to still we will just pull the bigger yarn also, and then we will cut it, and your duck is ready. Now you will see a small brown spot here. Use the back of the needle or front of the needle and just push it inside. See, it's gone. Now we have to only put the keyring here, and then you're done. Okay, see, cute, isn't it? See, there is space here, so the keyring will go here. You can put the stitch marker here, so then later you can add the keyring there. I hope you enjoyed the video and you learned to do it.